Hey guys, Jason here again, back with the AMG. This time we're recording on a phone because my GoPro is away getting repaired or replaced actually. But anyway, just flip this over and you can see this wonderful Bootlid here. It's a little worse for wear. I've kind of scratched some of the paint off and tapped it with a hammer. I got a few holes. This is where the sticker was, masking all this delightfulness. It does look like someone's tried to sandblast this and then cover it in filler, which might have helped it a wee bit. It's all rotten all along the inside as well. There's loads of rust and loads of sealant holding that together. But never worry, we're not going to care about any of that stuff because I wanted to get some sheet metal today to make to replace this area and to make some sort of ducktail. And I came across this Bootlid. So this was I've cut this down, mind. This is a 3 Series Bootlid that I've modified a wee bit, but this is pretty much the plan for today. So I think that looks quite cool. So let's get started. Okay, so I've kind of got this propped up in the middle here. You get a rough idea what that's going to look like. I think that's awesome. What I've done is pretty much cut along this line and hammered that lip flat. So that's our main lip for the bottom of the Bootlid. When you push it up square, you can see it's a slightly different shape. So we're going to probably come in here and just round this bit off a wee bit instead of trying to modify the Bootlid itself, because the fold is quite nice all the way across. There's not a whole lot in it. So it's not going to take very much fondling on this panel, because we still need to make this patch this panel, and there's a wee dimple here that keeps on popping in and out, so I'm going to try to sort that, but I'm losing my train of thought. But yes, I've come across the top here and trimmed it along here as well. So that's going to pretty much sit like that, and there is a secondary bit for that as well, which was glued on there, which adds even bit of more length to it. But I say we're going to have to cut it down along this side and this side, and we also have, oops, put that somewhere safe. Stay. Right, where was I? Right, that's going to sit in there like that, right? But you can see we have this flat spot here. So what I was thinking is, looks so bare without it now. So I'll come in here and cut this along here, and then we'll step that panel and slide it underneath, and then we can just replace this entire section in one piece. Another thing is, when you put this up like this, what I'm going to do is find the perfect center, which is pretty much can't be far away from that area, and then cut here and cut here on this side, and then cut out this whole middle section, punch this in, tack weld it in, and then we've got our angle to work off on both sides. So yeah, I'm going to start doing that type of stuff, and then I'll come back to you when I've got something to show you basically. I do think this is going to work quite well, and it'll be a bit different instead of just the standard duct tape spoiler Bootlid you get for these, which is really nice, but it's quite expensive. So yes, I'm going to get started. Well, this is where we're at. You can see here that I've came around here. I'm pretty happy with the distance I've come out here. So I need to take this spoiler off again and pretty much cut behind that line. I have cut this much out. That's the original Bootlid panel, and that's the inner panel, which are both completely rotten. So I cut them out. We'll have to figure the inside out later. And you can see along here that I'm going to put a slice in this along here and push this panel down to follow the original flow of that BMW panel, because it's just a wee bit different than the MG one. We do have this that we're using as a pointing stick, and that sits on there like that. It does overhang the edges a wee bit now because we did trim it, but I'm sure we could sort that out, and that would extend our kind of ducktail-y looking thing. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's going to work quite well. And then we need to basically cap the ends as well. But first things first, I'm going to take this off again and basically cut behind that line as much as I can. I don't want to cut too much out of this edge yet until I start to cap this end, because I need this curve to follow my new form. But yes, I'll get this trimmed now, and then I'll be back with something to show you. I've actually struggled with this a wee bit to make it look like anything worth using, but we have this now, and this is the third attempt at this to try and get some sort of angle to it. So what I've done is I've angled this down here, then we've brought this back here, and then we kind of filled these panels in. So I think if you stand back and look at it, that looks quite good. I had to put the bumper on just to see what it looked like. I'm quite happy with that. It is going to take a lot of work to get this finished. So I'm now in two minds what to do. I'm going to keep on working at this and do the other side, but there's still a lot of rebuilding to do on the inside of this Bootlid as well, and I'm not really sure it's worth the effort when I could buy a fiberglass one that looks sort of like this, but I don't have to do all that extra repairs. So I'm going to keep on powering on anyway. We'll do the other side, see what it looks like. Well, I think it's starting to take good shape. I have both sides done now, and I really want to slap some fiberglass paste on and try and smooth this in, but I'm going to hold back. I'm going to take the Bootlid off and try and sort the inside next, because the inside is also rotten. I've got a few extra things I want to show you as well. Right, so I have this all welded in all along here, kind of warped here a little bit, so we're going to have to figure that out. This angle here is slightly different than this one. I don't know what to do. Either try and cut this one bigger, or use fiberglass paste on this side and try and make the side slightly smaller just to match them both. But we're pretty sure we can get them pretty much even. Fiberglass paste is going to be all over this, trying to get this curve just a nice shape to it. And then once we get the inside sorted, we'll put it on, and then I think we're going to put a slice along here, maybe 2 or 3 slices, and try and sandwich this down so it flows the same as that bottom Bootlid there, because I wanted to use most of this lip because it's nice and tight lip instead of having to fold stuff myself. So that's where we're at. Also for the boot, how to open the boot, I've got 2 options. I'll line out that line. I can either try and modify this Bootlid to have the original catch in it, which wouldn't be a big job, or basically figure some way out of making it electronic on a button. So I'm not really 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. I like the look without it, but we'll just figure it out at the time. So you can see around this bottom bit, I've only got a tack welded on here because we're going to cut out this original bit of sheet metal and replace it. I don't know about the rubber thing. I don't know how I'm going to run that, but I'm not sure if the fiberglass ones run that rubber yoke or not. But yes, I don't know if you can see me in that there because I'm using a phone, but I can get the Bootlid off now, and then we'll see what sort of disasters are on the inside. And I also forgot to show you this. So when I was cleaning back, I found this, so I'm going to repair this as well. Well, that's not too big though, or too bad. So we patch there. Okay, time to get the Bootlid off. Now the Bootlid off, this was fun. 3 of the bolts were stuck and I couldn't get them out, so I had to weld some nuts onto them upside down. They're a bit cockeyed angle, but they worked. Right, we have the Bootlid off now, and here it is here. So this is the bit that we cut off at the start, so that would have sat in there originally, and some shape like that there. So we'll have to replace this. My main issue is there was a rubber seal that sat in here. I don't think I'm going to be able to replicate that down here. I'm wondering if I get a bit of U-channel and put it around this area here. Would that do the same thing? I'm hoping so, because that's what I'm going to do. Missed this bit for the welding. But yeah, so the Bootlid of the BMW had a wee bit of rot here. Everything else is good on, but there's just this bit here, so probably going to cut out at least a wee bit of this here and patch that up, because I don't want to have to come back to this later. And then all around here is rotten, up to probably here, just where basically where I started is where the rust starts apparently. So now I have this form to where we want. I don't really mind cutting this all off and redoing it. I just wanted to get this done so I have a line to follow. So that's pretty good. We're good there. We're good along here. We're good here. And then we're just going to do the same thing right here again. So I'm going to get started on that. Probably not tonight now. So I think that's me done for today, but it won't make a difference to you because you're going to see the next clip now. Okay, here we are then. I came out and did a wee bit of grinding already. This is where we're at. I have cut out the rot along here. It's over here. Look at that lovely bit of rot. Right. Oh, careful now. That window is so covered in grain splatter, but we'll just cover it in stickers on the outside. Hopefully it'll be okay. Anyway, where was it? Yes, we've done that. So I've made this up. So we're not going to really follow this ridge. Cut this, what was remnants of this seal trim off. We're going to have to figure some way out of doing that. As I said in the last clip, I think, maybe U channel. Made that up, sit in there. Some shape. So imagine that's nice and scored up. So I've put a step in along here to try and follow this step at least. And then we're going to come around here and just pretty much do this all the way across. It's not perfect, but I'm not going to be looking in the Bootlid at it. And long as it's, as I said for the 1000th time, long as it's solid. Ideally I didn't really want to use this Bootlid when I seen all this rust, but this is where we're at, and we're going to have to work with it. You can see it's kind of misshapen around here now, that the bit that I had that welded out, so hopefully this curve's good enough to follow that. I'm going to get this welded in, and then we'll do the other side. Okay guys, so I have the sides welded in this here now. I haven't done along the bottom on the inside yet, but what I want to do is, I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to use it and we'll figure everything else out. There's a wee bit of, this side isn't too bad. Me with a fiberglass paste in around that there, just to get the flow right. I might even put a wee bit of stitch welding in here just to bring this area out a bit. But this flows quite well. The issue is around this side. It kind of goes up here, so we're going to have to fix this. But what I want to do now is, you can see here and here has a taper in it. So I'm going to run the grinder along this bit here. I'm going to try and compress this down just to close this gap. It doesn't have to go down very much, but just along here I'm going to cut a section out and press down in this here, and then stitch weld it back together again, and hopefully I can get this curve in it. Okay, well you can see here I now have this pretty good. It's very bowed out in certain places. It's gonna take a bit of work to get this done. It might even be better to just replace this middle bit, but for now we have this line as good as I think we're gonna get it. There's a wee bit tight, a wee bit bigger here. I might cut them welds and bring that up a bit, but for the curve in general, I'm happy with that there. So I'm going to try and get the inside of this done now, and that's going to be quite a big job because I kind of have to pull it out at the same time. I don't know how much I have to pull it out, so we're just going to have to keep on playing with it and winging it until we get it right. And so that's what I'm going to do. I maybe put a stay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a wee stay in the back and then take it apart and work it from there. So now I have this lined up. I'm pretty happy with the space in there. I'll show you what I've done. So I've just tack welded that wee bracket in there just to hold the Bootlid where I want it, so that when I weld the repair patch in the back, that this isn't like stuck in there or anything. So now I'm gonna get cracking on actually repairing the inside. Take the Bootlid off again then. So I'm getting pretty sick of repairing this Bootlid now, but I think I've got to a point where it's acceptable. So I've came around here and I've replaced all this bottom area on both sides. I welded this lip to this lip and ground it back. I really don't like doing this here because you pretty much lose all strength of the weld, but for the area it's going to be in, it should be okay, I'm hoping. I haven't done the lock yet because I can't remember where I put it. I've got all around here done, so I'm gonna put this back on again, and then I'm gonna do a wee bit of filler work on it, I think. just to try and get it the shape I want. So I think we need to filler work around this area and this area. I'm just going to use that fiberglass paste stuff, and it should make a good job of it, hopefully. So I'll get this back on that again and start messing after I grind back that wee weld. Right, back on again, and it's pretty good. It seems to have pulled a wee bit here, but I'm not going to worry about that now because I'm going to cut this out probably, and there's a wee bit of rust in the bottom of this panel here that I'm going to replace, and I need to figure out some way of doing the boot pop and the boot mechanism. So I'm not going to worry about this area, but I am going to have we fiddled with some fiberglass paste in this top area. So I'll lay my first coat on it, on here and on the sides, and then we'll see how we can get the look. But the shape's there, and I don't hate it. At least that's good for 2 days work. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it for this upload then. I'll put a wee skim of fiberglass paste over this here. You can see, I think the whole thing flows quite well. Once I have this area all patched up, I'll probably do this out of camera because it's just boring work. Probably put a relief slot in that there, push that in. But Maggie's in the car, look at that. Do you approve, Maggie? Yeah, sweet. But yeah, so once that's all color coded and everything, it's gonna look mint. A wee bit annoyed by this wee dip here, so I'll probably slice that panel I made and bring that back out again. But like, considering how to fix the boot anyway, I think it looks pretty good. See if we can get an angle from the front. Kinda maybe should have followed this line. Maybe. Wonder what it looks like with that wee lip on. Yeah, so we've got plenty of options. Obviously this here we'll have to cut along here and taper it in and patch that back up again, but I am happy with it. We'll need to come in here and cut out this area probably, and then we'll weld the new bit in with the boot pop on it. Okay guys, so thanks for watching. I do have some footage in the front that I need to edit and finish off, but that'll be next week. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next one where we'll do something else ridiculous to this MG.